I'm Tom-Ivar, a game designer who once envisioned a world of rhythm action, where keeping the cadence of combat is the only means of survival. Over the course of 7 years, I designed 2 experimental rhythm action games in this universe, both featuring pulse-pounding action, fuck-off skeletons, and fancy boss fights, all inspired by Blinds' near transcendent original soundtrack. The original Klang launched in 2016 as Tinimation's debut title, merging platforming and rhythm action into an adrenaline rush sure to challenge even the most skilled of multitaskers. Klang at its most intense can be described as playing both Dance Dance Revolution and Ninja Gaiden at the same time. Sounds difficult? Yes. In fact, it proved quite the divisive title amongst those who played it, though it mostly reviewed well amongst the international IGN branches. Mostly. The game's difficulty, experimental approach to rhythm game design, and sensory overload proved the most contentious points amongst the critics. Therefore, I have a few tips I'd like to share on how to get the most out of Klang should you decide to check it out in the current year. 1. Don't go in expecting a heavily game loop focused rhythm game like Oz or DDR. Engage it as a platformer with varying levels of rhythmic influence throughout the journey. 2. Do you find the changing color palettes jarring? Simply turn them off in the options. Depending on the monitor, I actually prefer playing the game without these effects. 3. The game is in my opinion best played with keyboard controls, despite the learning curve. 4. Klang was designed with interchanging difficulty back and forth in mind. You won't miss out on any achievements doing this. The unlockable nightcore mode difficulty play into this dynamic as well. Good luck. And last, the game's not over after the credits. Some of Klang's best levels are only available in the post-game. In my book, you haven't truly beaten Klang until you get your final ranking. In hindsight, I can safely say Klang is a love-or-hate experience that could only be brought to life by a fresh game designer and buddy composer fueled by nothing but dreams. I hope this brief introduction to the Klang universe enhances your enjoyment of Tinimation's debut title, and that you'll end up jamming to the soundtrack and joining the Discord after you beat it. Klang 1 and 2 are both available on Steam, with the sequel alone being also available on Switch, Xbox, PS4 and PS5.